Hi, welcome back to another edition of the Revelation. It is our ongoing series as we're really hopping and skipping through the book of Revelation in a pretty quick way, but we're on track to move through the entire book and at least cover pieces of it in some way, not with a lot of depth, but enough depth to kind of get you thinking about it. And today we're in Revelation chapter 8. If you have your Bibles, we're going to look at verses 1 through 5, but really just read a portion of verses 1, 2, and then 3 and 5. It says this: When he opened the seventh seal, there was silence in heaven for about a half an hour. And I saw the seven angels who stand before God, and seven trumpets were given to them. Another angel who had a golden censer came and stood at the altar. And then fast forward a little bit. Then the angel took the censer, filled it with fire from the altar, and hurled it on the earth. And there came peals of thunder, rumblings, and flashes of lightning, and an earthquake. And this is a moment of silence when you get to Revelation chapter 8. Because up until now, as we've looked back and you go back to the previous episodes, Revelation has been a book where the heavens have been filled with the sounds of worship. Choirs of angels and saints have been singing God's praises. They bow before his throne at regular intervals. They cast crowns at his feet. They honor him with everything they are and everything they have. But this is a transition point, and what is getting ready to take place is so solemn and so serious that all the activity around the throne of God, all the expressions of praise and worship just stop. It's almost like everyone's catching their breath for a moment. Because when the seventh seal is open, seven trumpet judgments are then released. And the world, which has been ruined by humans under the judgment of the first six seals, is about to become a world ruled by Satan under the judgment of a trumpet, and that's in verse 6. And so this is that moment, that pause, where you take in all that's going on and realize that something big is about to happen. And indeed, in the book of Revelation, this is a turning point. It is something big. It turns, it spins, and all of a sudden, the book begins to rapid fire begin talking about those events that are going to take place in the end times. When you look at Revelation, it's easy sometimes to get overwhelmed by the bigness and the frightening stuff that we read. But this is one of those times where I think for anyone who reads the book of Revelation, it's a great time to stop, pause, and take a deep breath and remind yourself that everything is unfolding according to God's plan. That's the purpose of the book of Revelation, so that we will know. We know the events that are coming, and we know enough to make us successful. We know enough to give us hope. We know enough to give us strength. And this is that moment where I think as you start reading the book, it makes that turn. And just like they did in heaven, as the book or the vision was given to John, we probably need to do that every once in a while as well, and just stop and catch our breath. Quit panicking, quit worrying, quit being distracted by all the things that are going on around us. And just recognize the fact that God really is in charge. It is that holy hush that I think that sometimes is missing in our culture and probably missing in our lives. And so today, as you look at the book of Revelation, remember the holy hush is important, and the holy hush counts. And so don't be afraid to take that holy hush. And we're going to jump back in and continue our study in our next edition of the Revelation. Thanks for joining me. We'll keep reading together because there's a blessing in it, and we all like to be blessed. May God bless you.